Marin, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Jimmy. How are
How
you?
are you?
It's been a crazy week, even though it was short. We had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't think it could fit much more into this Friday session.
I think we have a lot to get to. I think we're going to be very, very busy for the next 10 minutes. And I have a thing, an episode right after this that we're going to get into. So it's a busy day. It's a busy month. And I think our slides actually reflect that. So let's dive right into it, Marin.
Yeah.
Registration for Microsoft Ignite. It's open. Did you register?
You know what? I did not because I couldn't decide if I was going to do any in-person versus virtual. So you do have that option when you go in there if you want to do fully virtual, if you want to do both. So it shows you the cities, it shows you Seattle. All of the cities other than Seattle are free. Seattle is a ticket that you've got to go acquire. So check that out. Now is the time. And honestly, that's like a month away. It's not far. So if you're going to go to one of those cities,
far at all, and it's coming up. And if you wait to the last second, you may not get the in-person option. So make sure that you register. Make sure you go do it. That slide is actually, I registered. Come join me October 12th through 14th. And I think another big thing this week that a lot of people may have even missed, firmware update to Microsoft Teams rooms. It was released. It's out there. It's propagating through the system right now. It's actually released on September 2nd. And I think if you look at that last bullet point, I think you're going to know what we're going to talk about next.
It's been all over LinkedIn this week, and it hasn't been a well-kept secret. We've been kind of teasing it for the last several weeks, and this could honestly take up a whole show, but we did obviously have a licensing change this week. Teams Rooms Pro was introduced, Teams Rooms Basic was introduced, and if you've got any questions, it will be a topic on a lot of our chats for the coming weeks.
Well, I have a show right after this. I'm sure it's going to be a significant amount of time spent on that, but Teams Room Pro is here. Teams Room Pro, Teams Room Basic. It is much more intensive than we can do on a 10-minute show. So make sure that you're keeping up with all of the latest information. There's a lot of good blog posts out there. There's a lot of things that are sort of new and interesting. And to that point, Michelle actually did a really good video on how to add the Teams Room Basic license. You know, the Teams Room Basic license is free. I think we were talking about it before.
Free. We love that.
It is free. So how do you add it to your tenant, and how do you actually make sure that it's there? It's not automatically applied to the device, so you do have to add it to your tenancy. And if you saw in the firmware, it is a firmware-based solution. So make sure that you got the firmware. Make sure that you're applying it inside of the Teams Admin Center. Make sure that you watch this video to go through. Content delivery, Marin. This is an important part of Teams Rooms, an important part of everybody going back to work. And there was a big announcement this week about ECDN for the new era of communications.
Yep, and this is actually through our acquisition. If you're familiar with Peer 5, that is basically peer-to-peer network capability. So if you're looking to take stress off the network, it definitely does a bit for efficiency and streamlining things. So obviously you can see in the picture, it does a good job of kind of explaining the structure and how peer-to-peer works.
And I think I saw on Twitter, somebody said, well, how does it work how does it function if you're working from home? Obviously, this is not meant if you work from home. This is meant for an enterprise. And if you look at that picture, if you think about, all right, I'm obtaining this stream from Jimmy and Marin right now. How am I getting it? I'm probably going to the video server, but what if everybody in the office is also going to that video server? Now we can actually use peers within your network to actually help that delivery, reduce bandwidth costs, do a whole bunch of things, and that's what this ECDN is for. So if you think it's just for users, think differently, because actually Teams Rooms and things like that, everything inside of your network can work if it's actually adopting streams. So go ahead and read that blog post article, understand it, understand how it might work for you. Again, something we just can't talk about in the 10-minute time.
Too much to talk about.
Other thing we can't talk about in the 10-minute time, right after this. If you are watching this, right after this, myself, Michelle, Higgsy, we will be having a session with Gary Anselm. And Gary is from the product group. We're going to talk about support for Teams Rooms. A lot of people sort of say, all right, with the new Pro license, how do I get support? What do I do? We're going to give you some of those things and show you some of the stuff that is actually happening in the background of Microsoft for the last 6 to 8 months in preparation for a lot of these things, where we go to a lot of this virtual support side, and we go and we make sure that things get to the right people appropriately. So if you've got a question about support, whether you're a partner, whether you're an end user, go ahead and join us. throw comments into the chat. Same platform that we have here, same idea. We'll be there. Michelle, I hope your headache is getting better, because I've got 3 shows today to go ahead and do.
Give me 2 times. Yeah, and actually I see Higgsy's in the chat. I love when what is it, a late night for him, early morning? I'm not sure. Yeah.
It's the other side of the world. So Marin,
passwordless.
Passwordless is an important part of what we do here. And this article actually shows one of our great partners, Accenture, one of the largest companies in the world, and how they adopted passwordless.
Yeah, I was going to say this was actually like a 2-year journey, but they did it through thousands of applications, and I want to say over 500,000 users. So not an easy task, but basically, as we all know, user passwords are probably the weakest link in security, and going passwordless did streamline a lot of things, built some efficiency. People are getting into things faster, and just obviously a great security benefit there. So
everybody has been a victim of phishing, myself included. You put in that password and you don't know it until after you've done it. Then you go, oh my God, what did I do? So having that ability to actually go passwordless and stop some of these phishing attacks is really the goal of that. An organizational-wide policy, Marin. The Teams team on YouTube actually put out a couple of new videos. This was one of them. How do I edit an Orgwide meeting policy? And how do I do it across all of my users?
Yeah, and this is a Teams channel that if you are not following, please make sure you check that out on YouTube. That's one of my best practices, is every single week I go onto YouTube and I check what's recent in the last week when I search Microsoft Teams or Microsoft Teams Rooms, and they're constantly putting out great videos every single week. And I honestly missed this one, so thanks for highlighting it. It's great.
It was great. And another one that they also put out, how do I get meeting and call information in Teams Admin Center? A lot of people have been waiting for dashboards. They want dashboards. They want to know how the Teams rooms are actually doing it. So if you go into this session and you look inside of Teams Admin Center, you'll see how we're doing the users meeting and call information. Dig down into a single user, because guess what, Marin? That's what your Teams room is as well. Understand how we're actually doing this, how we're aggregating the data. Then you'll be able to understand how we're going to do dashboards and things like that in the future for not only the users, but also the room systems as well. Having data is what Microsoft is about. We're the largest data compiler in the world. So understanding what's there is really important.
Well, and I think that's a little bit of a tease when we talk about things coming up for Inspire and data and AI. Like, that's one of the big things that I think everybody's kind of got their eye out for. So.
Absolutely. And congratulations to the EU. They actually put on an in-person event this week for the Teams Room Bootcamp. I saw nothing but great pictures. Seemed like it was great attendance. Congratulations to Mo, Robert, Michelle, and all of the EU team who put this together for in-person, teaching everybody about Teams Room Bootcamp, and the Teams Academy for Microsoft Teams Rooms. Higsy has put together a whole thing. We are truthfully a worldwide organization who does this around the world.
Yeah, and I think, we've got a lot of wonderful Microsoft offices. So I think this is at the Microsoft office. We're actually going to be doing this in Tokyo, Japan, towards the end of the month. I think it's September 26th through the 30th. So you're going to start to see a lot of these localized events in region, and this is in combination with the Microsoft sellers out in the field. So just love to see the cross collaboration between all of our OEMs, all of our partners, and the Microsoft field representatives. This is just everything coming together beautifully.
It's absolutely perfect. And speaking perfect, we've got our friends from Yaylink actually doing a roadshow at the Microsoft MTC in New York City, September 15th. And Tyler actually put up there a Microsoft Ignite spoiler. I'm not sure where he's going to show, but I don't know if he's allowed to do that, but a Microsoft Ignite spoiler. So if you're in New York City, if you're in the surrounding area and you would like to go, Yaylink actually puts on a great show. They've got some great products to actually highlight and show you as customers and partners. If you are not carrying Yaylink technology, I say go watch it. Go see what Tyler has, because they've got some great things. And the Ignite spoiler will be something just like the cherry on top of a sundae, Mary.
Yeah, well, and I've seen Tyler. I saw Tyler last week. I know he was at Synex this week. I think probably half of our audience has seen him. He's been on like this world tour for the last month. So Tyler, shout out. I hope you're doing well. I'm not sure where in the world you are today, but you've been all over the place, kind of like our Canada van tour that just wrapped up. A lot of people have been on the road for a long time.
Absolutely. And I'll be fist bumping this Thursday, September 15th, down at the Jersey Shore with my friends from Starin and Neat. I'm going to be doing a presentation on Microsoft Teams Rooms. If you want to come down and you want to see the great products that Neat has for Microsoft Teams Rooms, and you want an incredible environment to hang out in.
Yeah, look at that.
Marin, that picture is not like something made up. That is where we're going to be. We are going to be on the ocean with palm trees. So I'm looking forward to joining my friends down there from Starin and Neat and really having a good time. I've heard that attendance is going to be really spectacular, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody down there. So Thursday, September 15th. Thursday. I think that's the thing. And also, I want to make sure that everybody understood, we scheduled the next MTD-AMA. If you're not familiar with the MTD-AMA, it is Microsoft Teams Devices Ask Me Anything. We put on shows here in the U.S. in the EMEA and North America time zones, and we also do an APAC show. Our friends down in APAC, we all work off the same deck and get the same information out to people. This is not recorded. It is a pre-Ignite session. We'll actually be talking about some things that we think are coming up that we can see on the roadmap. And just come and join us. If you have to register, the registration is actually on Graham's blog post. He did send out an email this week to everybody who had registered before with the link so that they can join as well. Great session, great community of people just coming in and talking about a whole bunch of things.
I just noticed that he put the Graham Walsh on his blog. It's awesome.
The Graham Walsh. And speaking about learning things and having a whole bunch of things in there, Marin, technical and sales Microsoft Teams are training. We had our first one this week. Unbelievable attendance. You probably know it was sold out in like a day. Yes, there are limits on how many people we can get in. If you've got the ability to go ahead and register, we have a landing page now at Learning About Teams Rooms that will have every session that we have bi-weekly for registration. Go register now before attendance fills up. These will likely not be recorded. I know that people were asking, but no, they will not be recorded. For now, I don't know if we're working on things and looking at things behind the scenes of what we can do, but 100% we'll go ahead and do it. But make sure that you register for these. The first one, I got feedback. Everybody loved it. I guess it's Jimmy 2 times. And,
Well, speaking of Jimmy 2 times, like you've got another broadcast here in about 2 minutes with Gary.
I have another broadcast in about 2 minutes. We did pretty good at 12 minutes, Marin.
I know. It's
all
hard.
Of that in 12 minutes. Again, thank you to everybody for waking up with us or even going to sleep with us. I know there's Iggy here, so he's going to join me in the next one. But if you like this show, if you appreciate what we're doing every single week, go ahead and share it with your friends. Post it on social media. When you see us post it, share it with everybody. Make sure that everybody understands it. This is recorded, Marin, and we do get a lot of people that come back and watch it afterwards as well. So thank you to everybody. Marin,
thank you.
Have a good weekend. I know I'm on coffee because I got a whole bunch of stuff to do today. So,
hang in there.
Thank you, everybody, and I'll see everybody in about 5 minutes, I think.
All right. Have a good weekend.